Hello and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So on this video, I'm going to talk about Hu Tao and Childe again. I've done a few videos about them ever since they were announced officially for 2.2, but this is actually from a viewer request, so shout out to my viewers. Thank you guys for the suggestion and for asking the question in my comments. So at this point, I want to segue into asking everybody, please subscribe to my channel, please like my videos, hit the notification bell, and leave me some questions and some comments. And you never know, I will respond to your question, but I also may make a video about it as well. So yeah, here we go. So the question posed was, for Hu Tao and for Childe, who are upcoming with the 2.2 banners in the next patch, would they do well with the Shimenawa's Reminiscence set? Or should we stick with, their usual pieces, such as, for example, right on the screen right now, it's going to be Childe with the Heart of Depth, and then obviously with Hu Tao, it's going to be likely the Crimson Witch of Flames, right? So let's get into it. So first of all, from my own experience and my own perspective, I recommend that you just go with whatever artifacts that you have, like in your, that you've farmed or whatever, that's reasonably good that you can use based on the substats and the main stats. And I say that because RNG is a pain. I mean, I've done a video about it recently as well. Do check it out, where I have been suffering because I've been doing the Emblem of Sever Fate and Shimenawa's Reminiscence domain over and over and over for Raiden Shogun, and also been doing the Tenacity of the Millilith and Pale Flame domain over and over and over for Zhongli and for Eula. So anyway, I have some updates for that too, but long story short, I was finally able to finish it off for Zhongli and for Eula. For Raiden Shogun, I have not restarted doing that yet. I'm still missing essentially a circlet, a crit rate circlet. So anyway, that's my thing. And as I've started expanding my rebuilding some of my characters to start using those new domain pieces, those new sets, I've been still missing pieces, let's say. That's a separate story, and I'll talk a little bit about that afterward because that's kind of related. Because Shimenawa's set is actually part of that same domain as the Emblem of Severed Fate. So anyway, on the screen, you'll see my Childe is currently rocking a 4-piece Heart of Depth, okay? So, of course, you get the 2-piece bonus, Hydro Damage, plus 15%, and the 4-piece bonus, which is after he uses his Elemental skill, it increases his normal attack and charged attack for 30% for 15 seconds. The reason why that's important, in my opinion, is because his talent, this one, the melee stance, I use mainly for the melee stance. If you guys have seen my Childe review video, do check it out. And previously, when I talked about Childe and how I use him for my Abyss runs, etc., I only use him basically for the melee stance. I never use his regular bow normal attack. But when he switches his melee stance from the elemental skill here, the E, it changes his normal attack into the hydro infused slashes, right? And then of course there's AoE, hydro damage, etc. So that's basically how I use him. Of course, I'll use his ult whenever it's up, but that's how I use him. So that's why the Heart of the Depth was originally made for him when when he first came out, he didn't have it, and then later on when we got Dragonspine, this was released. So this was good for him. But now people are wondering, with the Emblem of Sever Fate dungeon, which includes the Shimenawa's Reminiscence set, is that now not better? And the answer is actually, I can be honest with you, it is better. It is better. Now, does that mean that, oh no, should we go and rebuild him now and refarm? I can tell you right now, rebuilding is a pain, okay? I'm sure those of you who have done it or are trying to do it, okay? Of course, there are those of us who are lucky, like you guys can be luckier, of course, or you can just get it right, get the right pieces right away in a few short runs, fine. But then for those of you who have also been on the other end of it, like myself recently, you can run over and over and you spend all your resin and you will get nothing, right? I mean, you'll get fodder pieces out of it, and you can use it to level up your other pieces, sure. But then it's just very hard to get specific pieces that you want with specific main and substats that you want. Okay, so that aside. Okay, so let's just talk about it more neutrally here. Okay, so just so we're clear, and this will apply to Hu Tao as well coming up. Okay, but the Shimenawa set is better marginally for both Hu Tao and for Childe if you can do the 4-piece bonus, and if you can get good substats and main stats, and if you can use them well in their scenarios. Okay, so let's just talk about Shimenawa set and versus Heart of Depth for Childe, since he's on the screen first. I will talk about Hu Tao afterward. So, Shimenawa set, 2-piece bonus is attack plus 18%, pretty standard. And then 4-piece set is when you cast his elemental skill, the character has, and if the character has 15 or more energy, they will lose that energy, and then their normal charged plunging attacks will be buffed, their damage will be buffed by 50% for 10 seconds. This effect will not trigger again during that duration, so it's only one time. Now, this is important to know and why it's good, because 50% bonus is huge, just so we're clear. Math-wise, like, it's huge. Secondly, both him and Hu Tao are short DPS window characters. They're meant to be quick swapped, and they're meant to be used until, like, either you use up their E, or you use it for a certain period of time, then you swap them out, okay? Because you want to apply their like elemental skills, etc., and also do lots of damage during that short window of time when they're infused, right? So for Childe, at least, for his talent, it is actually 30 seconds. Let me go here. Yeah, it's actually 30 seconds, his duration maximum, okay? However, if you use his maximum duration and then it goes back to bow form, you have a cooldown of 45 seconds, which is quite long, okay? Also, I want to make it clear as well, I do have I do have constellations here, so this might have reduced his cooldown as well. Whereas for those of you who are on C0, that may not be reflected when you're looking at your chart here for the talent, okay? Just keep that in mind. But 45 seconds is still long, okay? But it sounds long, but it's not so bad, because early on, his banners wasn't that popular for his first 2 runs. Like, they're average, they're not bad, but they're not horrible like Kokomi's, right? I did a video about that too. But basically, now that people know and have learned more about quick swapping, especially with the recent Hyakunin Iki event, remember earlier in 2.1, where you only had pairs of 2, but you had 8 teams, and then you sort of quickly swap them, quick, and then you have to keep switching. Yeah, so that's basically, in a way, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, I think that was a foreshadowing for Corrosion Abyss. Because realistically, if you can keep swapping quickly and then keep healing in that case for corrosion purpose, like it's actually very useful, okay? Okay, so anyway, long story short, the Shimenawa set is going to be huge. Now, how much more damage can you expect? Give me one sec here. I'm going to bring it up. Sorry, I had to drink some water and I was going to cough. Okay, so how much more damage can you really expect versus, like, for example, if you had like a 4-piece Heart of Depth already, right? So like if I just quickly go back to his stats here, these are what I'm rocking with. It's not like the best, but he is what I use in the Abyss. He's on one side of my team, actually. And I'm actually going to do a video after this one about the Abyss. So hang on for a second here. Okay, sorry, I'm just coughing, but I'm turning off the mic when I do it. Okay, so then here, as you can see, I'm trying my best to maximize his Hydro damage, because that's what he's known for, and also I want to do more reactions with him. I team him with Xiangling, so I can do Vaporize. And so for that reason, excuse me, I'm just coughing a lot, sorry. For that reason, the Heart of Depth is good because obviously it increases Hydro damage as a 2-piece set, right? Now, if you can't get a 4-piece set, is it okay to mix and match? Of course it is. You can do, of course, the 4-piece Hydro set here, Heart of Depth, 4-piece Shimenawa set, or 2-piece Hydro, so Heart of Depth, and 2-piece Shimenawa. That's also very acceptable for him. Okay, because we're only talking about artifacts, so we're not going to talk about weapons or other things like that. So now I will say, if you get the 4-piece Shimenawa, he will be more stronger than the 4-piece Hydro. Not necessarily for elemental reactions, but more so because of, again, there's just simply the multiplier. Like, the 4-piece here is like, the multiplier is 50%. It's just higher, of course, but it's only for the first 10 seconds because it only lasts 10 seconds, right? Or until his elemental skill cools down, you can do it again, right? So the only issue is that his elemental skill cooldown is quite long. So regardless of that, would I recommend you, for Childe, let's say, to go and refarm and rebuild him? No, I do not. Because that's time consuming and there's very RNG based and you're going to waste a lot of resin doing that. I have several videos lined up, not today, but coming up soon, talking about what you should do and prioritize your resin for, especially if you're like mid to late game. So stay tuned for those coming up later this week. But yeah, so I see, okay, I can be honest with you, like if you know already, you can see I didn't even bother redoing him. Actually, I redid his previously already. Previously, what he had was 2-piece Heart of Depth and 2-piece Gladiator. And I was not farming any of these pieces for Kokomi. No. I was farming pieces for Mona And I was also farming this dungeon, because this dungeon also has the cryo pieces. I was farming this dungeon actually specifically for Ayaka when she was released in 2.0. So that's why I was lucky that I was able to get some extra Heart of Depth pieces for Childe. So for 2.0, that was lucky for me in that sense, okay? So that's another little tip here I have for you. If you're going to farm or rebuild artifacts anyway, or if you're planning to do it because you haven't actually started farming for your desired characters yet, such as some of my viewers, they said that they don't have Childe yet, but they're going to pre-farm for him. So which one should they start with? In that case, I did tell my viewers to go right ahead and just farm for the Shimenawa one. Because yes, it's a marginal difference. When I say marginal, it's only because I've seen other people, Mega Whale, GigaChat, streamers and YouTubers out there, they have compared and did all the damage tests. They spent all the hours editing their videos. Thank God for them, because I don't do that. But they have proven consistently that you can get approximately between 1k to 2k extra damage per hit, depending on what kind of hit you're doing, right? Now, of course, that's just an average, and of course, everyone's going to get different substats and different overall total stats and their attributes here, right? But then, like, it's about 1 to 2k extra. Now, is that huge? Maybe. Like, every little bit matters, of course, right? And can it amplify? Of course it can, because like, obviously it's multiplied when you do like elemental reactions too. So for that reason alone, yes, if you are in a boat where you are planning to rebuild, for example, Childe or Hu Tao anyways, or you're in a boat where you don't have these characters, but you're going to pre-farm or farm for them now, knowing that they're coming soon, right? Childe drops next week, right? So then in that case, yes, go right ahead. Go and get the 4-piece Shimenawa set. I wish you the best of luck with RNG, and hopefully you can get 4 good pieces. But if you don't, that's okay. Do 4-piece Heart of Depth, and if you can't do that, then just do 2-piece Heart of Depth and 2-piece Shimenawa. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this, because I don't want to take away from Hu Tao. For those of you who are curious for Hu Tao, again, same thing applies. She, with her 4-piece Crimson Witch, here, I'm just highlighting her. I don't even have it on her right now, but 4-piece Crimson Witch increases her overload and her burning damage by 40%, increases her vaporize and melt damage by 15%, and using the elemental skill will increase her two-piece set bonus by 50% of its starting value. So basically, the 2-piece set gives 15% bonus for Pyro, right? So if by doing a 4-piece set, it will give another 50% of that. So you're basically getting another 7.5. So 22.5% Pyro, okay? Basically. And give or take, right? And then like you get obviously the reaction bonus, okay? But again, it's based on her using her skill, as you can see. Increases it only when you use the skill, basically. Let me rephrase. The 4-piece set, the first part is specifically just giving you elemental reaction bonus. The second part of that is if you use an elemental skill, then you get extra pyro damage, okay? Just so we're clear. Okay, so the reason why I don't personally use a 4-piece on her is because, in a way, both her and Childe are the same. They are more or less DPSs, of course. They are DPSs, sorry. And they need to be on the field, right? Now, of course, you can team them up so that they can deal elemental damage, which is totally fine. Do that, okay? Especially with her, with Pyro, she can do like, melt and vaporize. Of course, Childe can also do that too. But then, basically, with Hu Tao's case, I didn't choose to do it. So first of all, I want to be completely honest. I don't have 4 good pieces for her, and I haven't farmed the Crimson Witch domain in a long time. So there's that. Number 2, I just gave her, as you can see, like it's a gladiator set, okay? So it's not really even the best, but it's like it is what it is, okay? And really, I'm just trying to like make sure that I get her, her crit rate and her crit damage up, She does not have major energy issues, neither does Childe, okay? Let me quickly go back to here in case I didn't scroll through these earlier. I'm just gonna scroll through them while I'm talking, but we're focusing on Hu Tao now. So then like, again, with her, if you do the 4-piece Shimenawa set, again, it will give her the elemental, once you use the elemental skill and uses up 15 of her energy, but she will infuse and increase her attack for her normal and charge, which she's mostly used for her charge attack. You can definitely use her normal attack too when it's infused with Pyro. And again, it will then increase it by 50%. Again, that is a huge bonus, okay? So once again, for those of you planning to farm or pre-farm for Hu Tao, if you didn't get her, because I know she was only on a limited run banner back then, and also newer players out there would have missed it. So she would be fine, you would be fine to go ahead and go for the 4-piece Shimenawa set. You should just do it, okay? Second choice would be 4-piece Crimson Witch. Another option would be, again, like just like Child, a mixed match set. So two-piece Crimson Witch and two-piece Shimenawas. However, in that case, you don't need specifically the Shimenawas because Shimenawa is just two-piece, is just attack plus 18%. This applies to Child as well. So you can just obviously substitute it for Gladiator, which I have, as you see, right? So two-piece Gladiator. So just pick whichever one you can get the set bonus for and also get good substats and main stat for, okay? So that's fine. And then the other option, this is more of a niche option, but it is an option, especially for Hu Tao only. You can pair her with a two-piece Crimson Witch piece and then a two-piece Tenacity, because two-piece Tenacity gives you HP plus 20%, and we all know that Hu Tao scales with HP. So that is more of another way to get extra HP for her. Now, even I have given her HP, stands here, but that does not affect her attack in the sense that, like, you know how some people say, like, if you do HP here or Elemental Mastery or Energy Recharge, then they're not going to have as much attack. Yeah, she doesn't have an attack stands here, but regardless, she is hella strong. I can just tell you that right now, especially when you level up her talents, okay? Especially when you focus on this one and this one, okay? Because similar to Child, if we're talking about talents, you want to focus on this one and this one as well. Like, they're also very solid, okay? I can just tell you that right now. They're very solid. They have a good AoE and they can do elemental reactions too, so they're not something to be left behind for sure. But if you have to only prioritize, you should focus on the E skill because that's their main bread and butter for these guys. And then you have to focus on the normal attack as well, or both of them simultaneously, because the E skill is only to activate and buff and infuse their normal attack. So you still need the normal attack to be also strong, okay? So anyway, I hope that clarifies it for everybody. So pretty much this part is done for the Shimenawa set. I just want to, as a bonus for the end of the video, I just want to quickly talk about the Emblem of Severed Fate as a separate little thing. This will just be really quick. So Emblem of Severed Fate came out, and it not only is it really good for Raiden Shogun, where is she? Not only is it really good for her, but it's good for obviously Kujo Sara, as well as it is good for her friend here, Shang Ling. I rebuilt her with an Emblem set, and with Mona on an Emblem set. So I will probably do another video, perhaps about the Emblem set separately, but right now this video is just about Shimenawa set. So I just want to make it clear that farm that dungeon just for that reason alone, because it has two really good sets that can be used for many, many characters. Now, this does not mean that the Crimson Witch domain and the Heart of Depth domain are not good. The Heart of Depth domain is actually superior than the Crimson Witch one, because the Heart of Depth one has cryo pieces and hydro pieces, so that's good for two types of characters, right? Whereas the Crimson Witch one, the other type of item that you get in there is, let me see if I still have any of those. I've probably dumped them all. It has these kind of pieces, these Lava Walker ones, which are more like resistance and defense type of things. Of course, the 4-piece sets give you like pyro damage bonus, but again, no one uses these really, to be honest. So for the Crimson Witch one, you end up only going for one of the two sets that's available, and RNG is not going to be on your side, trust me. So anyway, that was that. I want to keep this short, so I will end it here. But again, please like, subscribe, hit the comments, ask me questions, and ask me ask me questions and write some comments, and I will hit the notification bell. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.